What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Cedric. Welcome back to SweetScale TV. Before we even get started, I had to say thank you to each and every person that subscribed, joined the SweetScale family, left a positive comment, gave me constructive criticism. Sincerely, thank you very much. You guys are really helping me achieve my goals. I've been blown away by all the love and support, and I really appreciate you guys. In today's episode, we're gonna be doing an updated studio tour. Now, I did a studio tour in 2019, and I was watching it the other day and I realized a lot's changed. So we're gonna be doing a full-on studio tour. Some of the gear is not even set up right now because there's just so much. Once I'm done showing you guys the gear that's on the desk right now, I'll get rid of it and then show you guys the other gear that's not even set up. And this video is not being made to brag or boast. I just want to share with you guys the things I use that help me become a better producer, musician, and DJ. Let's get started. I get asked this question probably every other day. What camera do I use? Right now I'm using the Canon G7X Mark II, and I get a lot of compliments on it. It's a great camera, and I'm using a GoPro stick. That's how I do it every time. Moving on to the music gear. I feel like there's 3 to 4 different devices in the studio that help me purchase everything and get me to where I am today. And first and foremost is the Yamaha Motif XF series. It's the keyboard I always travel with. I've literally never done a gig without the Yamaha Motif XF. I have 2 Yamahas, the XF6 and the XF7. Right now in the studio, I have the XF6 set up. The 6 is a little smaller than the 7, and so that's why I have the 6 in the studio right now, and the 7 is the keyboard I'm traveling with. Like, it alternates. Sometimes I take the 6 out and keep the 7 in the studio. Without this keyboard, none of this is possible. And it's a great sounding keyboard. You're able to combine 4 different instruments. So sometimes I'll combine electric piano, brass, guitar, and it comes out sounding so great. It is discontinued. Yamaha now makes the Montage. I really feel like that for the next 5 to 10 years, I could use this keyboard and not feel like I'm missing out on anything. Moving on, we got the Moog Little Phatty. I use this mainly to keybase and solo. Love to talkbox with it as well. It's a keyboard that really never leaves my studio. I think I've only taken it out of the studio 1 time. I got it for an amazing price. Definitely a keyboard that I want and don't need. I feel like when I start doing more festivals, I'll travel with it. It's Moog. You already know it's lit. It's amazing. Moving on to the keyboards behind me, we have the Roland Jupiter on the bottom. So many great sounds. I love the basses, I love the synths, the leads, organs. It's a great sounding keyboard. The keyboard on top is the Roland FA06. That thing is a beast. So whenever I have a big time corporate event, a big time wedding, no questions asked, I take this with me. I used to travel with it all the time, but then I picked up this keyboard right here. It's the Roland Gaia. Super dope keyboard. I travel with this whenever I have a smaller gig, like if I'm playing at a restaurant or like a bar. I'll keybase with this because it's super small, it's easy to travel with. But when it comes to the heavy duty gigs where it's like the checkbook is out, I roll with the FA06 just because it's a little larger. I just rather have more keys. That's just my preference. But when it comes to like a small gig, this is a great keyboard. Don't get it twisted. This is an amazing keybase. I just prefer the FA06 when it comes to big time events. That's all. Those 2 keyboards, the FA06 and the Roland Gaia, the combination of those to play keybase and the XF6 is a huge part of what I do. In the corner, you'll notice I have a bass and a guitar. Before I became a keyboardist, I was a full-time bass player. Like legit, that's all I did, play bass. But I wanted to do more, so I went from bass to keyboardist. You guys have seen some of my live performances, and I love taking out the bass. It's been with me through thick and thin, and I haven't treated it as well as I should, and she still plays very well. And beside the bass, I have a guitar, and I'm not a guitarist. I want to learn, so I will eventually. but as of today, I can't play guitar for my life. Moving on to the desk. First controller you'll see is Maschine's MK3. Native Instruments Maschine helped me so much. Now, this stays in studio, but I have the Maschine Studio, and I'm gonna let you guys know, between the 2 keyboards and the Maschine Studio, that's how I bought everything here. Still, as of today, whenever I have to do a gig, I bring the Maschine Studio. So I got the Maschine Studio in 2016, and I did 1 gig with it. And then 2017, I did 80 gigs with it. And you're looking at the full band me for probably 75 of those gigs. I was in a duo. I'm still in the duo, actually. We still have gigs we do, but I would play key bass with my left hand, piano, and all these different like organs and strings and brass with my right hand on the Motif. And I would play tracks with the Maschine, and we would have people dancing and enjoying. We played so many different covers, and I made tracks for Justin Timberlake songs, Whitney Houston, Jackson 5, country songs, hip hop songs, just everything was made using the Maschine. And we did weddings, we did corporate events, literally everything, still to this day. I wouldn't have been able to make all the money I made as a musician without the MK3/Maschine. I'll probably do a video showing you guys how my setup was as a one-man band. I know I don't use it a lot in my beat making, but when it comes to live performances, I always use it. I know I talked about it a lot, but yeah, it's been huge and I love it. Absolutely love it, highly recommend it. Next to the Maschine MK3 is the Push 2. So I started with Maschine, but eventually learned Ableton, and the Push 2 is a game changer. I was already hooked to Ableton and the Push 2, but then when I saw Timberland using the Push 2, I was like, okay, it's Timberland. Like, if he's using the Push 2, you know you got something good. Whether you're producing live performances, queuing tracks, this thing is amazing. I bought it in 2018, didn't start using Ableton until 2019. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I can't wait to learn it, and I didn't learn it. I was just too busy. Eventually, I took the time, stepped back from using Logic Pro to learn Ableton, and thank God I did. Anyone that's using Ableton, you need to get the Push 2. You're gonna love it. Above the Push 2 is the APC 40. I have the 1st generation. I would love to get the 2nd generation, but this was on sale for $100. It was either get the 2nd generation for $400 or get the 1st generation for $100. I like using the APC 40 whenever I do a live performance because of the knobs, stopping clips, fading clips in and out. It's just super easy to use. Next to the APC, I've got the MIDI Fighter, and this was actually a gift from my boy Alex. Shout out to you. Good friend and amazing DJ, taught me a lot, and I really appreciate you. I use it to trigger samples and finger drum. Beside the MIDI Fighter, I have the Launchpad Pro and I have the Launchpad X. I know I have a ton of controllers, and there's a reason for that. I'll talk about that later. I either travel with the Launchpad Pro or the Launchpad X. The MIDI controller I use and the MIDI controller I highly recommend is the Arturia KeyLab 49 MK2. 49 is great, but I think I'm gonna upgrade to the 61 just because I want a few more keys. Like, if you only play in C, the 49 keys is great, but I do like to play in every key, and I feel like 49 keys is just a little too small. And the Arturia KeyLab MK2 comes with the Piano V2 as well as Analog Lab 4 for free, and it works really well with Ableton Live, FL Studio, and Logic Pro. And navigating Ableton, FL, and Logic Pro with the KeyLab 49 is effortless. I'm sure it works well with other DAWs. It's just those are the 3 DAWs I have. So everything in my studio is connected to the Roland Octacapture. This interface is perfect for me because I can plug in 8 external instruments and plug them all into Ableton Live, do my live performances. I mean, of course, you can plug in this interface into FL and Logic Pro and every single DAW, but it's perfect for my workflow because I'm an Ableton user and live performer. Everything's fed from the interface to the RC looper, so I can loop everything in my studio without having to use Ableton. Doesn't matter what I'm using, everything and anything can be looped I like having the RC looper in the studio because sometimes I'll float around from different keyboards and just start a live loop without having to use my computer. With the RC looper, you can do unlimited loops. You have 5 different channels for loops and you can stop, start, play, edit. Really cool to have. I don't use it enough, but I love having it in the studio. One of my DJ controllers, the DJ 808, is a 4-channel controller, and the 5th channel is to control your drum sequencer. So I could be DJing and I can add some extra kicks or hi-hats or snares. I love the effects, I love the layout. You can even plug in the mic and manipulate the vocals. You can do auto pitch, you can have a high filter, you can increase the pitch so you can have like that gas sound, or you can lower the pitch so you can have like that low bass, Barry White sound. This is the DJ controller I really love to travel with. I used to use these headphones right here, HP DJ1s. They're kind of bulky. About a month ago, I decided I would go with the in-ears, and I also like the fact that it looks a lot more sleek. These are the Westone UM1s. You know, instead of having something bulky over my head, they're just perfect in-ears. Whether I'm performing as a DJ or I need headphones as a musician, I prefer the in-ears. So that's what I travel with now. I still use the HP DJ1s in the studio because, as I've been told by some of my subscribers and some constructive criticism, my room isn't sound absorbent, and I know that. And I was gonna get some sound absorbent foam, but I'll probably be moving in the next like 3 to 4 months, I hope, fingers crossed. So there's no point in adding all the foam right now when I'll be gone in, you know, a couple months. So for the time being, I'll use my speakers, and to double check my mixing, I'll use the HP DJ1s. The speakers I'm using are the Yamaha HS7s. I absolutely love these speakers. I also love the fact that I got them in white. They sound great, they're amazing, they look great, they're sleek. So I talked about my keyboards and everything on the desk. I'm gonna go ahead and swap things out and show you guys what else I have in the studio. I've been really interested in sampling vinyl. I watch a lot of guys do it online. I'm like, yo, I need to get into this. So I purchased an Audio-Technica vinyl player, and then I went to a thrift store and they have all these vinyls for sale for like 40 cents each. So I bought 20 bucks worth of vinyl. I haven't had the chance to sample records yet, but I'm gonna try to get to it in the next month or so. I can't wait to sample records. I'll be showing that on the channel for sure. Just below the Audio-Technica record player, we have the Roland SPD SX, which is a great drum machine. I've used it in a few of my live performances, and I have big plans for it, which is the reason why I still have it. You guys will see me use it a lot more in the near future. Something that's new to me, I have yet to even try it out, I've had it in the studio for a couple months, is the Chord Chaos Pad. This thing looks super dope. I've seen a lot of live performers use it. Just the way you're able to manipulate sounds by touching this pad, that's something I'm super excited to be using in my live performance. And we have the Roland SP404. I love this bad boy. I did a review on it. This thing is powerful. I love the way you're able to manipulate sounds. Then we have the Reloop Spin. I've also done a review on this, and I do have some vinyls I like to scratch. Using it in a live performance is super dope. Yeah, I love being able to just scratch vinyl. It's super cool. Next, we got the Roly Seaboard Rise. This thing is crazy. Whether you're playing saxophone, violin, electric guitar, bass, it's almost like you're actually playing the instrument. That's how crazy powerful it is. As I start doing live performances outside of the studio, this is hands down something I'll be traveling with. I know I showed you guys the DJ 808. I also did pick up Pioneer's DDJ SRT 1000. It's a 4-channel controller. This is taking me a bit of time to learn. There's a couple things I want to add for like a crazy live DJ setup. I feel like I need to practice on it for another month or so, and then I'll be ready to take it out on the road. I like the sound effects that you're able to use, so you can do some crazy transitions. Lastly, a couple things that are not plugged in right now. The TC Helicon, which is a vocoder. I've used it in at least one live performance, and the Talkbox. Alright guys, that's a wrap. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed the studio tour. If you did, please smash the like button as well as leave me a comment below. It's your boy Cedric from SweetScale TV. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next episode.